armed forces eliminate scores of terrorists and destroy their hideouts in several areas. Al-Jaafari affirms at the Security Council that flagrant foreign intervention in Syria hinders efforts of national reconciliation. Washington denies the right of Palestinians for a UN membership. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our news for today. President Bashar al-Assad has issued decree number 379 of 2012, setting Saturday the 1st of December 2012 as the date of conducting legislative elections to fill the vacant seats. Our armed forces have continued to deal severe blows to the armed groups that spread panic among citizens in Aleppo. They eliminated terrorists at Walid Bilal and Ubaid ibn al-Jarrah schools in Karam al-Dada and al-Sukkari, and in Qasr al-Haram, al-Tananir and Suq al-Zahrawi squares in Jdeida, and in the ancient city Al-Jawhara Gallery in al-Sha'ar and Sharia school near the castle. They destroyed all their machineries. In the governorate suburbs, our army units carried out operations in Al-Yuwaja village in Al-Jandul, Asia crossing in Haritan, around the cemetery in Ain Jara, Kafarnaha Cross Point, and Al-Muhandisin farms. They killed a large number of terrorists and destroyed their vehicles, some of which were loaded with weapons and others with various machine guns. In Idlib, an army unit clashed with an armed terrorist group that cut off roads and spread panic among citizens in al-Ghar, Al-Aliya and Al-Ghassaniya and Jisr al-Shughur, killing and wounding all the group's members. Meanwhile, an army unit destroyed in a qualitative operation a headquarters for armed terrorist groups in Jib Sulaiman village in Hama, and killed dozens of terrorists. In Homs, competent authorities confiscated a factory for manufacturing explosives in Al-War area, including 15 explosive devices, 25 explosives under construction, 3 barrels containing explosive materials, 150 kilograms of the highly explosive C4 materials. Army units destroyed a car equipped with Doshka machine gun, killing a number of terrorists in Babhoud. Army units also assaulted terrorist gunmen in Al-Jusiya region in Al-Qasir countryside. In Jurat Shayah, army units eliminated a number of terrorists and destroyed their hideouts. The armed forces destroyed weapons, a weapon cache, and killed all the terrorists inside it near Al-Mutafawwiqin school in Al-Jubayla neighborhood in Deir ez-Zor. The armed forces also eliminated several terrorists who tried to infiltrate into the neighborhood. Our army units also eliminated a large number of terrorists who spread panic among citizens and cut off roads in Ash-Shifuniya and surrounding villages in Damascus suburbs. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Gennady Gatilov said that any peacekeeping mission in Syria should be done through the UN Security Council, and it needs the approval of the Syrian government in particular. In a statement today, Gatilov said that the UN Security Council is the only party that is able to send peacekeeping forces to Syria, and up till now, no one has submitted a formal proposal for that. Gatilov said that Russia remains in constant contact with the UN envoy to Syria, Al-Ibrahimi, and it has invited him to hold consultations in the near future. Tehran asserted that the Syrian people are the ones who should decide their own future, affirming that support is needed to provide a healthy atmosphere for dialogue. Iran's position was expressed by Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesman Ramin Mahmoudprest during a press conference in Tehran, in which he asserted his country's support to the mission of UN envoy Al-Ibrahimi to resolve the crisis in Syria. Mahmoudprest said that the proposal submitted by Iran and Al-Ibrahimi refers to the cooperation of all countries in order to stop the violence in Syria and halt supplying terrorist groups with weapons. Delivering Syria's statement at the UN Security Council on the situation in the Middle East, Dr. Bashar Al-Jaafari affirmed that those who hypocritically allege keenness on Syrian Arab people's rights cannot ignore the right to recover their occupied land and cannot turn a blind eye to the Syrians who are under Israeli occupation in the occupied Golan. Al-Jaafari pointed out that the Palestinian people have been waiting for more than 6 decades to be granted their simplest rights in setting up their free, independent and fully sovereign state on their land. He stressed that the flagrant foreign intervention in Syrian affairs is one that obstructs the efforts for national reconciliation and dialogue. Moreover, he added that those countries are assaulting Syrian sovereignty through encouraging terrorism and offering all forms of logistic, financial, and political support to the armed terrorist groups and facilitating the flow of foreign gunmen into Syrian territories. On his part, the representative of the Zionist entity at the UN Security Council threatened the states that would support the Palestinian request for full membership at the UN Security Council, warning them against the repercussions of such decision. No reaction was voiced by the Council's members in terms of condemning the Israeli intransigence.
The General Conference has thus voted to adopt the draft resolution and decided to admit Palestine as
in an indication of its bias towards the Israeli occupation and its disregard of the Palestinian Arab people's rights, the USA reiterated a position to the recognition of Palestine as a sovereign state in the UN, alleging that this would put the peace process with Israel in jeopardy. Reuters quoted the American ambassador to the UN, Susan Rice, as saying yesterday at the UN Security Council that unilateral measures, including the initiatives that aim at granting the Palestinians the status of observer as a non-member state in the UN, would only jeopardize the peace process and complicate the efforts exerted to bring both sides back to direct negotiation, as she alleged. Finally, and back to our local news, under the title Creativity of Youth, the Directorate of Fine Arts and the Ministry of Culture, in cooperation with the Technical Institute of the Applied Arts, held a Syrian youth gathering for sculpture and painting for the year 2012. The gathering was held at the Damascus Castle, which hosted 20 Syrian artists, 10 of whom are sculptors using Syrian wood to create their magnificent sculptures. Other painters adopted oil and acrylics to construct their works. The gathering started on the 10th of October and will continue until the 23rd of this month.
This symposium starts from 10 of October until the end of this month. and all the artists in this symposium, from young artists, part of them graduate from college, Fine Art College, and another from the Institute of Applied Art.
We organized this symposium. It's called Youth Creation. There are 20 Syrian young artists are participating in this symposium. 10 of them are in painting, and the other 10 are sculptors. It started from 10th of October, and it will last till 30th of October. It's a cooperation between the Ministry of Fine Arts and the Institute of Applied Art.
With this, we end our news bulletin for today. For more information about Syria and the region, you can visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Up next, the latest business, Al Market News with Vani, after a short break.